Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very special episode, and today we'll have the American lineup coming in from Dodge. We have several Dodge Challengers and a couple of unique Dodge Chargers. Some of them are Hellcats and some of them are Demons. So, either way, we're going to have a hell of a time, and let's get started. So I've never done a multi-vehicle lineup like I have set up for us today, but I think we'll work our way through it. Just trying to decide which one of these I want to open up first. So we'll go with our good old trusty eeny, meeny, miny, mo Hellcat Demon. 1, 2, 3, let's go. All right, we'll start with this one. So this is the 2019 Dodge Challenger RT Scat Pack Edition. As you can see, this is a super dope car. Let's open it up and see what we get. All right, now that we have this thing cracked open, we can start to appreciate some of the details. Man, this thing is awesome. One thing I do want to point out is that some of the Auto World cars, even the M2 specifically, they seem to have a lot of blemishes on the paint itself, and sometimes the tires, they don't seem to fit properly on the wheels. Although this car, the tires look freaking amazing. I think they really did a good job of representing the actual car, and the paint is just, I like it. I like it. Black, gloss black, clear windshield, clear rear window. You can see the entire interior, which is really cool. Sometimes with the tinted windows, you can't really appreciate the finer details that they put in there, and I think this does a really good job at letting us see all that inside. But let's put this thing on the rotisserie and appreciate it a little bit further. So one of the coolest features about this car are the small details there, as you see on the front fender. Well, actually the front grille, it's got this small, really minute Challenger badge. Same thing with the RT badge on the left-hand side of the front grille. The yellow air diffuser. Zoom in there, see if we can see that a little bit better. That is a very nice detail. The SRT badge on the side to let you know this car is nothing to mess with. And additionally, as you can see, the Florida plate just kind of takes it over the top. Lets you know this is a wild man's car, right? If you're from Florida, from what I hear, y'all keep it wild. So, but let's not dwell too much on this one. We still have 5 more cars to go. So let's take this one off of the rotisserie and pop another one on the bench. All right, we got 1 car down. We got 5 more to go. Let's put this one off to the side and move on clockwise with the rest of them. I'm really excited about this one. I think this is my favorite out of the entire showcase here. So without further ado, let's crack it open. But before we do, man, look at this card. I'm going to have to keep this somehow and preserve it. I really like the blue. I want to see this car in real life. Become Auto Auctions. I'm going to have to Google it to see if I can pull up some pictures and stuff. And man, I just can't take my eyes off of it. When I saw it, and I get these from LP Diecast. I believe it's lpdiecastgarage.com. And I couldn't believe they had this one in stock. And I picked it up for maybe about $6 or $7. They have really good prices. I'm not affiliated with them, but I certainly do get a lot of my cars from there. Okay, let's get straight to it. This is the 2018 Dodge Challenger SRT Demon. Now, this Demon child here is kind of a special edition car, right? It has, I think, about 800 plus horsepower, over 700 foot-pounds of torque, while the regular SRT, I guess the Hellcat has some more along the lines of about 700 plus horsepower and just about 680 foot-pounds of torque. But I believe they both carry the same type of engine. It's just the tuning on these are a little bit different. They both have the 6.2 liter V8. Now, while they have the same engine, this one is tuned for the track. This is more of a track beast as opposed to a, well, what would you call this? Street muscle car. That's really what it is. There's no other way about it. You're gonna have a lot of fun on the street with this one. This one you take to the track to make some money. Hopefully, I'm sure there are other demons out there. Although these were special edition, they were extremely expensive and hard to find, just like the diecast model. So let's crack this open and get a closer look. I don't know what it is about this car, but it's making me feel emotions that I haven't felt in a long time. It's a little bit of a tingle every time the little sparklies in the blue paint shine at me. Man, it's almost winking at me. I really like this car. It's kind of got something about it that says, "Damn." I want to put it on my shelf, but more than likely, it's gonna be sold as a keychain, just like I do with all of my other diecast. Um, Kind of regrettably so, just because it's so dang perfect. Look at that paint. Let's appreciate the glitter and the shine just a little bit. Dodge badge in the back, Mecum license plate in the rear. Look at those big beefy tires ready for the track. Here comes the front end, and as you can see, it's somewhat like the other one, but something about that blue paint just tells you don't fuck with me, right? So it still has the yellow front air diffuser, the black fuel cap in the back, clear rear window, and clear windshield, which, again, now you can really appreciate the inside and get a look at the cabin. Imagine yourself rolling in it, switching gears. Although, was this an automatic or a manual? I don't know if there's a lot of manuals out there. I hope it is a manual, right? Leave a comment in the comment section below to see if you can provide some details on that, because I am not sure about that portion. But again, we have a lot more cars to go through, and let's go ahead and take one last look at this bad boy and move on to the next one. Here we go. All right, now that we have those two out of the way, let's move on to the next one. We've got the 2019 Dodge Challenger RT Scatback. It's basically the same one as the first one, so let's make a quick show out of this one and crack it open. So this one's much like the first one that we unpacked, the black SRT Hellcat. Now this one is colored red with a nice racing stripe in the rear end there, and the same black spoiler towards the rear to keep that grip at a maximum at the rear wheels. And the only difference here in the tire section is, now this one has a slightly different color motif, obviously, as we can tell, and the rims are black as opposed to the gray ones that we saw on the black car. Now, the license plate on this, surprisingly enough, what is it? I can't see it. 1 second. Even though this is a really nice casting, I think there are even less blemishes on this car than the black one. The black paint always shows the imperfections a little bit more than any other color, but this one is a really nice representation of a cherry Challenger SRT. Wow, look at that thing. But again, we have two more cars to go to. This is the last of the Challengers. We're going to move on to the Chargers. Let's get that ball rolling. All right, we're almost on the home stretch. We've got our first Dodge Charger out of the lineup. This is coming from Greenlight Collectibles. This is the GL Muscle Edition, Series 28, whatever that means. But I like the paint job. It's baby blue, nothing that you would see on a day-to-day basis. Before we keep talking any further, let's go ahead and crack this one open. Although it requires a little bit more brain power, they obviously created this pack for high crime areas, right? With the blister pack, so nobody can steal it. But let's go ahead and crack it open anyways. You know, now that this car is out of the pack, it hits a little different. I was really digging the blue paint, baby blue paint. I think it has some really nice details, like the side mirrors there. The rear looks almost identical to the actual car. Where they missed the mark a little bit is coming up right now towards the front. I gotta be honest, it looks like a Dodge Neon. There's even a slight defect there where the headlight is missing the second half of it, and you know, it's an okay car. I think Greenlight usually makes some really decent vehicles, and they have really good quality control. For some reason, this one didn't make the mark. I think there are other things to be desired, like the window trim seems a little bit unfinished, and the hood is supposed to open just like on all the other ones that we reviewed, but I can never get them to open without sticking something sharp in there, and I don't want to do that because, like I said, these cars will be sold as keychains on my Etsy store. Shameless plug. But anyways, I am not liking this car. The more I look at it, the less I like it. Let's just put it that way. I think it just looks like a modified Dodge Neon with a Charger rear end, but it's all good. Someone's gonna like it. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm not even gonna sell it. It's got a blemish. I can't sell a product like that, right? Although this might just end up on the shelf, or I'll give it to my kid eventually when he behaves. Well, considering that this car doesn't have a lot of wow factor, we'll just put it off to the side with the rest of the other cars that we reviewed, and we'll keep moving on to the last car. Let's roll. Okay, now we are on the home stretch. We've got our last contender here. I don't know if it's a contender, but our last car to review, and this is the Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat wide body. And now this one has an obvious wide body. The other one here is also supposed to be a wide body, but I don't believe it. I think they lied to us. This one, however, is Hot Wheels. They only make the best. Out of the premium lineup, I think Hot Wheels makes some of the best castings, the most accurate replicas, and they probably have the best wheels because they spin independently from the other wheel on the other side of the axle, and they're great for, well, I wouldn't say great. Hot Wheels premium cars are not great for racing, but they certainly hold up with others. Well, these ones here with the solid axle, they're a lot slower, so they're not as fun on the track. But we're adults, we don't play. Well, we only play when people aren't looking. But let's go ahead and crack this one open and let's critique. Oh man, this is one of those cards where I don't want to get it damaged just because it looks so freaking cool. I don't think I've seen a Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat with a wide body, let alone the graphic design on it with the racing stripes outline in the orange. I think that looks fucking awesome. Excuse my language, but yeah, let's crack it open. I mean, what can I say? This car looks awesome. I think the wide body really defines the curves and just allows for those big old hunking drag radials or whatever the hell they're putting on these things nowadays. I think it really makes it stand out. The stands, it already looks aggressive. The design work on the paint, man, look at the details. I think this car is by far my favorite now out of the entire lineup. I was really digging the blue Challenger Demon, but for some reason this one just stole my heart, guys. It's probably the most accurate out of the five, although the Outer World ones are fairly accurate. I just don't think the quality stands up to the Hot Wheels Premium. The paint on these seems to be a little bit more defined, and the quality is second to none. I mean, you're talking about Hot Wheels, and they do nothing but the best. Yep, I think by far this is probably the best one now out of the entire lineup that we just reviewed. I was really digging this blue one. Let me get it. Digging this blue one here. I mean, I think they're both awesome. The paint job on these is almost perfect. The rims, the tires, the rear fascia, the front grille. Something about these two cars just makes me excited. Makes me want to go outside and smell gasoline. Well, maybe not that, but it definitely makes me want to go outside and wrench on a car. All right, now let's take a wider look at these two beauties and remind us of these two other ones and the baby blue that just didn't really seem to make the cut. But it's all good. Thank you for joining us, and I hope to have a few more cars for you very soon since we're working on a huge lineup here. So make sure to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and come on back.